Yo, what's going on, guys? And I just finished the bang. Now I'm gonna make a video. So we're talking about today the Phoenix Suns and what to expect from them. All right, this Phoenix Suns team exceeded expectations, made it to the NBA Finals, and I think they addressed the main issues with their roster. And now the question comes: is those solutions enough to get them back to the promised land as the West has gotten tougher and a bunch of players who were injured and a bunch of things that fell in their favor for them to get the Suns got there because they were the best team, okay? But we can't act like whatever team that ends up going to the finals didn't have dominoes fall into their favor. So let's get right into the roster. Devin Booker, Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, Jay Crowder, Dario Saric, who's out for a season, Cameron Payne, Mikal Bridges, JaVale McGee, Jalen Smith, aka Stick Smith. I'll refer to him the whole video, Stick Smith, who I expect to have a big role this year. Cameron Johnson, Landry Shamet, Abdel Nader, Elfrid Payton, Frank Kaminsky, and that's the roster. They don't have anyone on a two-way contract, and that's it, you know? And so what do I think of this Suns, team? I think they got the backup center that they needed. JaVale McGee was the backup center that they've been needing, okay? We saw it. Frank Kaminsky and Dario Saric weren't able to really give any valuable minutes at small ball five or backup center whenever DeAndre Ayton went off the floor, and they lost a lot of rebounding when he did come off the floor. So with that being said, I really think that this year is Stick Smith's year. Why? Stick Smith is more of a power forward, a stretch forward, but he can be a small ball five. And the reason he's a stretch four is because of his shooting ability and play style, but it's also because of his frame. He doesn't have a frame to be capable of being a guy. Like, he's 6'10", 215 pounds, okay? And with a guy like that, and him having somewhat, it's not that he has narrow shoulders, he doesn't seem like the guy who could be 250. I think he's going to be a guy who plays around 235, 240. And he only played 27 games last year, so his stats aren't really what you want to look at. He played well in the summer league, and I think he's going to step up. Him and JaVale McGee and Frank Kaminsky will all back up DeAndre Ayton, but I really think Jalen Stick Smith is going to be the guy, because the starting lineup is going to be Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, and DeAndre Ayton. Now, back up behind Ayton, it's going to be a center by committee. JaVale McGee and Frank Kaminsky will have first dibs. Then it's going to be behind those two, Jalen Stick Smith. Stick Smith is going to have the opportunity to try there. Now, with Dario Saric gone and Jay Crowder being the starter, this is Stick Smith's year to take up those minutes. Dario Saric last year averaged, his numbers went down during the playoffs, but last year he averaged 17.5 minutes a game for the Suns, and I can expect those minutes, 15 minutes a night for Stick Smith as the backup four behind Jay Crowder. Yes, that'll work. We'll see some Cam Johnson and Abdel Nader and Mikal Bridges, in my opinion, play some backup power forward as well when they go small ball, but I really expect small forward rotation to be Mikal Bridges as the starter. Then you get Cameron Johnson as the backup, and then Abdel Nader as the third backup. And then you go over to shooting guard. We already know that. It's Devin Booker. And you'll probably see a little bit of Cameron Johnson there and Landry Shamet, I believe. Maybe even some Cameron Payne. But I really think Cameron Johnson and Landry Shamet are going to be the primary. Maybe even little Cameron Payne be the primary backup. Same thing, Abdel Nader at the shooting guard spot. But besides that point guard, I think it's going to be Chris Paul with Cameron Payne as the main backup, then Elfrid Payton as the third guy, and Landry Shamet is going to be more of a combo guard. Now, my biggest question is perimeter D, because you look at this, Cameron Payne and Elfrid Payton are their best guard defenders. Devin Booker, Chris Paul, Landry Shamet, Cameron Payne, and Elfrid Payton, out of those five guys, really the best defenders there. Like right now, Chris Paul and Devin Booker can play defense, but on a night in and night out basis, it's going to be Elfrid Payton and then Cameron Payne at the guard spot. So perimeter defense could be questionable, but they do have Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, and Abdel Nader, who are all capable defenders, and they can guard the 1 through 3 spots easily. Even some of them can guard the 1 through 4. So hopefully their wings can make up for the deficiency on perimeter defense. And besides that, I think it's just rebounding. Dario Saric wasn't a big rebounder, but look, he contributed. So this team's going to have to, when DeAndre Ayton's off the floor, they're going to have to do group rebounding. That's how it's going to work. That's going to be the best way for this to work, is by having when Ayton's off the floor, JaVale McGee has never been an elite rebounder. Frank Kaminsky was never an elite rebounder. The only guy besides DeAndre Ayton who has the potential to be an elite rebounder is Stick Smith. And I wouldn't be surprised if Jay Crowder is the second leading rebounder behind DeAndre Ayton for this roster. With that being said, what I think is the best is hopefully Stick Smith can come in to camp or start the season off closer to 220, 225, and he's able to play 15, 20 minutes a night and get you 5 to 7 boards. He was never an elite rebounder in college, but he could get the job done, and he has the length to do it. So I think really the two biggest question marks, I think they're good on shooting. I think they're good on interior defense. I think the depth is there. This team can definitely be a top 3 seed, but I think their floor is the 5th seed. I was going to say 6th seed, but I say the 5th seed. But with that being said, I really think their two biggest question marks is when DeAndre Ayton's off the floor, how will the rebounding go? And then at the guard position, will Elfrid Payton and Cam Payne be enough to be their two best guard defenders, okay? Because look, Chris Paul was a good defender, and he still is. These guys going to get you steals and stuff, but we're not going to act like he's an elite defender. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below. What do you guys think of this roster? What do you think they need to do? But that's basically it for me, guys. I think this team is going to be either a top 3 seed or at the very least the 5th seed. And they made the adjustments needed, but it's going to be a tough road to get back to the NBA Finals where they were just this past season. So will they have enough? I think they do, but there is still factors that need to be accounted for them to get back to the promised land. So I want to hear those thoughts down below, guys. That's it for me. I'm going to head out. I'm going to go watch The Bachelor. Bye-bye.